Hi my beautiful stars, I hope that you're doing so well today. If you're new here, welcome to my channel and happy holidays. For today's video, I have Christmas gift ideas or holiday gift ideas all under $25. Some of these might be repeats from years past. I'll have those linked up in the cards as the video goes along if you want to get more ideas, but let's just jump right into it. Starting off with number one is DIY felt ornaments. I love these. These were so fun to make this year. I learned how to do a blanket stitch. I had so much fun creating something very special for my friends and family. So if any of you are my friends watching this, you don't know if you got one or not. This is a really fun gift and it's super easy to personalize. You could also make like felt toys for younger kids if you want to go above and beyond. The next gift idea is polymer clay earrings. So actually this is inspiration from one of my really good friends, my big sister Sydney. She made me some polymer clay earrings this year for Christmas and she was like, it was just so fun and I loved doing it, and I'm like, that is so sweet. And they're really fun, so I'll obviously show you guys some b-roll footage of those. They are so cute, and I think this is also something that's really easy to personalize. You could also do like a magnet, or you could also maybe even make a pin, even an ornament. I mean, there's so many ideas with polymer clay and it's really easy to work with. Next up is a thrifted cookbook. So I have talked about this in the past. You could also do like an art book, or it could be something about baking, how to crochet. There are so many books, especially gardening books at the thrift store, and they're in great quality. I would recommend looking for books that also might look good on like a coffee table. So I'm staring at one right now and I'll show you some b-roll footage of that one. I actually found it at the Goodwill outlet. So then it only cost me like 50 cents, and I just think it's really worth looking. Antique stores typically have some really cool books, and even yearbooks. These are super fun, especially if you know somebody in your life that loves vintage things like that. Just keep that in mind. My next idea is a DIY candle. I actually did this year as well for my mom. So I know my mom doesn't watch my videos, so I think I'm safe on this one. Watch her watch this one though. Like literally, I loved making this, and I actually got a candle kit on Amazon. It was like $50. So of course this is not like the under 25 thing, but if you're someone that loves to make candles, I'd recommend it. It came with a huge bag of soy wax, and it came with candle wicks and like the little stickies to put the candle wicks on so you can stick them into your container. It also came with the wax melter, and it's really easy to use and it heats up super fast. But I actually had candle wicks that I thrifted already on hand. I also had my glass jars that were on hand. I thrifted those as well. I also had the scents from Michael's. I bought them a couple years ago when I made candles, and then I also already had wax on hand. So I know this is something that not everyone will have the materials on hand to make, but it can be a more inexpensive gift, especially if you want to go to the Dollar Tree, for example, and you could get some of their white pillar candles and you can melt that down and then pour it into a different container. You could use some of their scents there. They have oiled scents. Pick the best one. You could do a holiday scent. You could maybe even mix some scents together. I know some people do essential oils. You could do the double boiler method and melt the wax that way. Before I had my wax melter like little machine thing, I used just a pan that we already had, or a pot, and I melted down the wax, and then after I was done using it, I really made sure it was nice and clean before we used it for cooking again. I do recommend candles. I think they're so sweet. With the candle, you could go a little bit further and you could thrift like a really funky jar and add like one of those matchstick bottoms to it, and then add some matches. And you can get boxes of matches at the Dollar Tree. They sell like those really big boxes of I think they're called Blue Diamond, and you could just stick some in there, and then they have a little kit, and then they could put that on their coffee table or by their bedside, wherever they like to have their candles. And to go a little bit further, you get a candle snuffer. They sell these at the Dollar Tree, so you're only spending $1.25 roughly. They have a couple different colors to choose from. I know the Target Dollar Spot had a candle snuffer, and they also had candle wick trimmers this year. I know that that is no longer at the Dollar Spot, but I've been finding them at Salvation Army brand new. This is also a really great gift. Just be on the lookout. Also add an electric rechargeable lighter. I got this for my mom as well. Next up is a thrifted book and DIY bookmark. So I've done the blind date with a book. I talked about that in last year's video and it was a hit. I think it was super fun and really easy to do. You could shop your own bookshelf if you want. You could also obviously go to the thrift store, get a book there, or Half Price books. Half Price actually offers gift receipts, so I do recommend going there if you want a gift receipt, just in case if you're not sure if the friend is going to like the book you pick out. This is a really easy one. I actually made bookmarks out of some cardstock I already had in different colors, just thinking about my friends' personalities and what they like, and I I took the magazine cutouts that I found in all these old magazines. I just made little collages and spelled out their name on it. I had a little lamination machine. That was an extra step that you don't have to take, but I did because my mom happens to have one. Then it will last them a lifetime. That is a really easy gift. You could also watercolor a bookmark. You could crochet one if that's your jam, whatever, and I think this is super sweet for the bookworm in your life. Next up is a charm necklace. So I actually got all of my charms and such at Michael's. I know that there's a bunch of other craft stores that probably house a bunch of charm necklace making things. I just get all of my stuff there because I get so many coupons from Michael's in my email. I just find it more worth it going there. But I know Hobby Lobby is a place that happens to have a lot of discounts. I don't shop there very often, so I'm not really up to code on like what they offer, but I personally am a Michael's fan. They have so many cute charms to choose from. You could also do like a charm bracelet, and they have the ones that like have the little lobster claw clips. You could just give them some charms to start off their bracelet, and then you could tell them like, hey, I got some charms from here, and then they can go build their own charm bracelet if they want to keep adding charms to it. Same with the necklace. I got all of my materials, like I said, at Michael's, giving this as a gift for some of my family members this year, and I'm really excited for them to see it. Next up is a mix CD. So I actually did this when I was a senior in high school, which wasn't that long ago, but I don't know if everyone has access to iTunes anymore. I mean, I know iTunes is still a thing, but I'm not sure how many people actually house their music over there anymore. I would just burn CDs. I'd make playlists for each of my friends and then burn it on a blank CD. I got my blank CDs at Target, and you can get a huge pack of them. I'm sure now you could even buy them on Amazon if that's more convenient for you, but they're relatively cheap, and then I just use the paper holders for them instead of getting plastic cases. But again, this is just up to you and what you have access to. I just drew with Sharpie on the CDs, and then my friends have a fun little mixed CD from me. My next idea is to paint a plant pot, and terracotta pots at Home Depot are very cheap and you can get any size you want. I did this for my grandma a few years ago, and I planted an aloe vera in there. She has such an amazing green thumb, and then it livened up her apartment a bit. She loves plants, so it was just another one to add to her collection. I got that for her, and I actually just happened to have the terracotta pot on hand, so I just painted that with acrylic paint. You could obviously do like spray paint or something and seal it so that if they're gonna have it outside and not inside, it would last through like rain and snow. Well, I hope if it's going to be out there in the snow that you brought your plant in. But to go a little bit further, if you want to make a whole kit, if you have some more money, you could also add like seeds so they can have their own mini garden. You could add some gardening gloves and some tools. You could even add like gardening stakes so that they can label what's in there. My next idea is to create your own print using canva.com. It's very easy and free to use. I did that this year. Last year I actually bought digital downloads on Etsy, which is another thing you can do, and they're very cheap. And all you have to do is buy the digital download of whatever size you want. They send it to you, and then you download it. You can get it printed at Walgreens for like $3. Walgreens always has photo coupons, so really look into that. Look them online and you'll get like 50% off. I just did that this year. I couldn't find any Justin Bieber merch on Etsy that was in my friend's taste. Her favorite song is Lifetime. She's actually getting married this year, or this coming year, and so I was like, well, this is the perfect song. And I don't listen to Justin Bieber very often, so I did some research, listened to a few of his songs. Lifetime, since it's one of her favorites, I listened to that and I looked at the lyrics. I picked out one of the lyrics that just sounded like it'd be better suited for a print. Just typed it out on Canva, made a couple different versions, got it printed. I thrifted a frame. It was actually brand new from Walmart, and it was good to go, and she loved it. She actually wants to even have it at her wedding possibly, so I was like, I felt very honored. So honestly, I think that's like one of the sweetest gifts you could give. You could also commission an artist to do a print or paint a picture of their pet or of their child. I think this is a super cute and very universal gift. You could give it to just about anybody depending on what they like. Next is a DIY sugar salt scrub, or well, sugar or salt scrub, not sugar salt scrub. I actually saw this girl create one on TikTok, and if I can find the video that I watched, I'll link it down below in my info bar. Otherwise, this is super easy to make. You could find some recipes on Pinterest. I've used Epsom salt in the past. You could use regular sea salt or whatever you have on hand. You can get sugar at the Dollar Tree. You can get salt at the Dollar Tree, so you're not spending very much. And then you just need like coconut oil, some vitamin E oil, all of the stuff you can get at the dollar store, or if you want to, you could go to Target too and get it there. This is a very, very simple thing to make, and you can add different essential oils to it to make it smell better. Next is for the 21 and up crowd, which is wine and mulled spices, so that they can make a mulled wine, especially for the holiday season. And this is also great for anyone that hosts a lot of holiday parties or just get-togethers in general. Then they'll have this little kit that they can make mulled wine, and they can serve that at one of their parties. My third to last idea is a spa in a box. So this is something that you can definitely definitely switch up what you put in there, but just as like a general idea, you could put a face mask in there, a spa headband, some scrunchies, maybe even like a towel like head wrap. Under eye pads, I get the reusable ones from Pacifica, and you can add your favorite under eye cream or oil, and then they can put the little under eye pads on there and they can use them for like basically ever. You could do a gua sha and a jade roller, you could do a foot scrub. I mean, there's so many things you can do, and you can get a lot of the components at the Dollar Tree, or you can go to Five Below and get some fun stuff there, whatever more is accessible to you and makes sense for you and your wallet. My second to last idea is a tie blanket. So this actually can be under $25. I was very surprised. I actually had to look online. I was like, how much is fabric fleece, honestly, because I know that that can be kind of expensive. Joann also does have coupons, and I don't know how much they have it on like their fabric and things like that. Look into that if you're going to do the tie blanket. But I've actually been on the receiving end of getting tie blankets 2 times, and I love them and I use them almost every day. I think that they're great gifts, and they're perfect to make as baby blankets or a toddler blanket. So this is a great niece or nephew item. It's also great if you're in college, because who doesn't want a blanket to cozy up with in their dorm room? And now my last idea is actually to embroider a blanket or a piece of clothing. It could be a piece of clothing that they already own, or you could go to Walmart and get a very cheap vest or a sweatshirt. I mean, they can be like $10, maybe $20, and then it's usually only a couple bucks to get something embroidered. Again, it just depends on where you get it embroidered. Some shops are more expensive than others, but I did this a lot in college when I was in my sorority. I embroidered blankets, and I had some sisters embroider vests, and it was like $5. $5 to embroider something. I did this for my mom a few years ago, and I used an old sweatshirt she already had laying around, got Delta Zeta Mom embroidered on it, and it was $10. Again, very, very simple. You could also do it yourself if you have an embroidery machine, but I think this is super cute, and again, very universal. It's unisex. Anyone can get anything embroidered, and I think this is super sweet. I hope that these ideas gave you some inspiration on what to get this year. If you are still trying to get gifts last minute, these will hopefully work for you. And stay tuned for more videos like this one coming this week, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, shine bright. Bye!